I watched a video on a woman in Italy being murdered by her boyfriend. There has been an uprising and uproar in that area where people are protesting the femicide and wanting the culture to shift its values and basically start to protect women in domestic situations. I went to sleep and kind of had this energy that moved through me, and of course, it's my own triggers and wounds and pain when it comes to experiencing misogyny and outright violence towards me as a woman. And I'm realizing that a lot of their anger towards the patriarchy is very valid, and yet we need to also look at our own behavior. How often do we give in to the codependence, our need to feel something within us, within those companionships? There is this facade around the patriarchy being a source of safety for us, and it's something worthy of looking at. When you're born into this scary world, we think that we need a protector and we always choose a male. A lot of times, if you look at the statistics, the male in the family will be the one, 50%, something like that, is the one to create that type of abuse. Now, we must all look at its components. We're all a part of this whole. In my own experience, it was taking back control of my own safety. Now, it's very ironic. My own dad was famous for his safety record. I remember being put up on these massive semis and trucks, and my picture was being taken in front of my classmates because they were celebrating my dad's safety in his driving. So I was programmed as a little child very distinctively to think that this was my safety, this patriarchal figure, and everyone agrees that he is safe. Fast forward 20-something years, guess what? Not so much. Wasn't the worst. But I will say,
I am reparenting and I am my new safety. I am my father now. Okay?
I mean, it's all contrived. It's really sad, though. It's really bizarre how we have a president. If you just Google his name, and unfortunately, if you put children, you're literally going to see with your own eyes the most extreme dysfunctional behavior. It is very questionable. And if it were anyone else, there would probably be somewhat of an uproar. But our president gets passes to touch children? Like numerous little babies. This is weird. Okay? And, but anyway, back to this femicide in Italy. In some of the comments, people were talking about machoism and this boys will be boys mentality and how it's so toxic. But I thought to myself, okay, if I were to have a baby boy right now, it would be up to me who basically indoctrinates him, who puts in information like software in a computer. It would be up to me the type of belief system that he initially creates. And then, naturally is going to create his own. But to give him that sort of foundation, creating a stable and sane and safe human male child, we need to first and foremost change the culture in which thinks that males are above women in every way. We must root out that belief. I've actually had some really amazing experiences. I get a lot of doors open for me. I get a lot of men like being cool with me. There is this dual respect that's kind of going on with me in my life right now. But I'll be honest, I've had that experience, and it's so freaking annoying to come upon a masculine, quote unquote masculine. I think it's like the opposite of that, just not in your power. Okay, I'll just say, when you have to use your brute force, your coercion, your antics, your tactics, your mind games, and to also, they like to get other females against one female, I've noticed. And the other females that are part of that patriarchal system, they act as livestock. They'll move as herds underneath that figure, and they'll do whatever he says. I had never come across so much of a machoism mentality before, so I myself was really confused. If you know me in real life, I'm an alpha female, so putting me in a close container with a dysfunctional, basically macho, deviant from the divine masculine, it is not going to be the most pleasant, but it's almost like I will teach him how to act. So basically, Pappy had everything. I needed to be real with myself. I was trying to work with my own lack within me. I had just left like so much dysfunction, and I was still working through it within myself. And so, of course, naturally, I'm going to attract another dysfunctional figure in the way that I still needed to work through the lesson. So what I learned is, and this is the gold, oh my gosh, this is such the gold, is that I didn't need Pappy. Like, literally, I had everything all by myself. He had beautiful land and beautiful animals, but he was literally a misogynistic predator that was a threat to my own well-being. Inner child, basically where my own father kind of dropped me off, I had to go pick myself up. And this man was another reflection of like, okay, you did some work, but you still got this, and this left. And that's what the feminine has to do. We have to acknowledge the situations in which we create that codependence. Manipulated, exploited, hurt. I had to really be the one to pull the plug on the whole operation. You know what I'm saying? And I did.